Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a post here for you that I thought I would share, and it says, Privacy Solutions Advanced to Meet Blockchain for Business Demand. Okay, this is really good, and I want to show you why. This is something that I think with Hedera is going to be another real positive as to why, when it comes to like institutions and that kind of thing, why they would want to choose Hedera. And so there's a part here where Charles Adkins has basically added something in regards to this, where they're discussing this, and I want to just go through it, and then I'll explain why this is such a big thing for Hedera, and as to why this is something that institutions would choose Hedera for. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly scroll down to it. Okay, so we've got here recording private transactions on a public network. Charles Adkins, president of Hedera, an open source public ledger, further told Crypto News that Hedera is able to provide public permissions in its network through the, quote, Hedera Consensus Service, unquote, in brackets, HCS. According to the Hedera website, HCS enables verifiable timestamps, decentralized ordering, and privacy for sensitive information for enterprise applications and consortiums. Adkins added that on private networks, HCS can be used to record the state of private transactions on the public ledger. This allows for privacy while still benefiting from the trust and security that a public blockchain offers. Okay, just going to carry on a little bit further. Quote, Hedera ensures that transaction privacy is maintained by only submitting the hash of the transactions to the public ledger, which can be used later for verification without revealing any sensitive details, unquote, Adkins said. He also noted that since transactions on private networks may not be public, these can still be anchored to the public Hedera Layer 1 network for consensus. Quote, this means that while private networks may handle sensitive or private data internally, they can use Hedera's mainnet for final consensus, ensuring a high degree of security and decentralization without compromising privacy, unquote, he remarked. Guys, that's amazing. Why? Well, look, when it comes to blockchain and hashgraph technology, etc., the one thing that people have with regards to this, why they're a little bit skeptical about wanting to get into crypto and stuff like that, is the transparency aspect of it, right? It's a good and a bad thing, because from like a company perspective, they might not want to have all their business dealings just available for people to view, right? Like, they don't want to just have all their business open for everybody to see. Like, people want to do certain things in private. They don't want to be able to have to disclose every little bit of information. And so this is where Hedera still being able to offer that kind of privacy to institutions. Well, of course, that's something that's going to be wanted by these big institutions, right? Like, for example, banks. Banks can be moving billions a day, that kind of thing, that kind of volume of money. And so do you think they really just want to have all their business just openly available for everybody to see? No, of course not. And that's why, when they talk about sometimes some of these, like these pilots that they're doing, these proof of concepts and things like that, a lot of the time they're doing it like on a private ledger and things like that, because they don't want it to just be available and everybody's seeing this kind of stuff. So of course they're trying to do it as as private as possible. And so if Hedera can offer this kind of service where they can still, have a company being able to maintain its privacy while it's still on a public blockchain, yeah, like obviously that's going to be something where they'd be like, yeah, let's go to Hedera, because they have the benefit of still having privacy while it's still being a public blockchain. So, it's like the best of both worlds, right? And so to me, this is something that I think is a huge desire for companies. Like, privacy is a big deal. And this is one of the things that I did say to me in terms of crypto being a bit of a negative, is like, if we get to a point where KYC comes to wallets, if somebody knows your wallet, they can see absolutely everything you're doing, right? Like, and it is a bit of it feels a bit of an invasion of privacy. Do you know what I mean? It does feel like a bit of a violation in that regard. And so, like, this is where I do look at that as like one of the downsides, but you've got to look at everything, right? You've got to look at the ups and the downs, the positives and the negatives. And so to me, the positives massively outweigh the negatives. But yeah, for companies in that regard, the fact that they'd have the opportunity to keep their transactions and things like that private, their activity private, while still being on a public blockchain, that's going to be a massive a massive attraction for Hedera. So thought I'd share this with you because this is, something that I think is going to be massively beneficial for them, something that could make them, again, one of the preferred networks when it comes to this kind of stuff. And again, another thing about Hedera that just makes it unique. So really great in regards to this. I'll be honest with you, this part of the article is the main part where it's referring to Hedera. Other than that, they're talking about like crypto in general, not just necessarily like Hedera. Like they're just talking about privacy and what's being done. This part that I've just gone through with you is the Hedera specific part, so you don't necessarily have to read it if you don't want to, but if you do, it's on Hedera's X profile. They've reposted the article, so you can check it out on there. Generally a good read, but as I say, the main thing that you want to know, that's the gem in here, is what I've just gone through with you. So great stuff for Hedera, and just another reason to be bullish on them. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.